Ganyan. Whoa! Sorry, I'm struggling to send to my knob.
Outshines them all in form and pace.
I was laughing at trying to send to my knob. Sorry, let me replay that.
Her tail, the crown of following grace, outshines them all in form and pace. It sways with charm no words can name, no other cackle dares to claim. A second arc, proud and tall, the most beautiful tail of them all.
Oh, thank you. Was it Felon Grace?
Her tail, the crown of feline grace.
Oh, feline. Okay, for a second I thought it was calling me a felon. Understandable. It should be illegal to be this weird. Anyway, hello, hi, welcome. Was it FL or FI? I can never remember. Hold on, let me load it in Notepad. FL, hi. Welcome. Welcome, welcome, Stu. Am I taking attendance? I guess I am.
Cheese.
Which is hi Night, welcome, Finyuki, welcome Stu, and Very, and Choco, and FL, and Nuge. And Propuke. Ahoy there, possible felon. No. Okay, I'm just gonna jump right into it, as the YouTubers say in a way that annoys me, because they only say it after they've done like an intro and a sponsor segment that takes like half an hour. This is maybe a slight exaggeration. Anyway, I'm pressing the button now. What button? This button. Because today, before it gets too late... Oh, this is already broken. Okay, I fixed it.
Lactose-filled dairy product.
Today...
Fromage.
Today...
Fromage.
Oh no, it's the Umi Pie. Hi, welcome.
Cheese.
Today I'd like to do a... just...
With style and flair.
Hang on, I'm speaking over it again. No, we got another poem. I don't deserve the poems, but let's listen anyway.
Yuki built with style and flair. Wheels a breeze.
Build? Hold on. Rebbe what are you doing?
Yuki built with style and flair. Wheels a brew in her card with a daring stare. A slice of cheese upon her face. Shows and charm in perfect place. She doesn't flinch. She doesn't yield. She's the undefeated queen of the field.
The field being weirdness? I'll take that one. Sorry for interrupting. It's alright. Hi. Welcome. Welcome Nikoraya as well. Hi. I started way later than intended because apparently it's extremely hard to set up a webcam looking at this thing. I did kind of expect it to be. I think I said in the past that it would be a pain to actually show properly on stream. This is why I'm now 2D, because I'm using a webcam to look at this instead of my phone like I was using when I was developing this. But welcome. What is this? This is the MIDI LED display! That was a project that I was sort of doing on stream, and I can't believe we actually saw it through to fruition. But I never actually really showed it off working. But yeah, so I'm using a webcam looking at this time because I wanted to get the full 60 FPS, because before you'd only ever been able to see it at like a crap frame rate. Unfortunately, you have crap resolution. This is what my webcam looks like at 60 FPS, unfortunately. The highest it can do is 640 by 480. But hey, at least it's gonna be 60. I made sure of that. It took a little while to make sure of it though, but we got there in the end. But yeah, this is a thing. Hold on, how am I gonna get this entire thing shown off? Oh, I know how. Get out of here. Well, Earth and View, where are you? This should work. Oh wait, it's gonna resize itself every time I load a new one, isn't it? Is there a way to stop it? Oh wait! I stopped it. No, never mind. It's not even scaling it down though. Is there a way to fit images to window width? Or window, actually, I guess. Oh shit, it works. Okay. Enjoy this wonderful magenta background. But for those who haven't seen it before, this blue board here, not the green one, yeah, was a prototype that didn't work. Let's just call it a prototype. It wasn't meant to be a prototype. It was meant to be the actual thing, but sometimes, you know, you just become a prototype if you're not good enough. Anyway, yeah, so this is a real life circuit board. Here are some photos of it during the development process. And yeah, so there are 4 of these, one stacked on top of each other. And we ended up making a board to replace this. This breadboard here became much more populated over time. Ended up being this little board with a long nuke on it. Oh god, scrolling doesn't zoom in apparently. With a long nuke on it. Look at that long uke right there. I'm not familiar with using whatever the earthen view. Oh my god, I'm so unfamiliar. I don't even know how to. Okay, now can I go to the next image? Yes. So there we are. It looks a little something like this. Except that was before I put it on a piece of wood. And now it looks like this. Ta-da! It's all properly mounted. Yay! So this is what we're looking at right now. Unfortunately, it looks a little bit crapper on the live view. Oh god. Okay, there we are. Look at these wonderful colors. Would you like to see these colors actually on the webcam? Good, because I'm going to show you. I love this magenta thing. Oh, hey, there you go. There's a video of where I didn't know it's good open videos. Tano! Thank you very much for the resub! I'm sorry, I've got like half of my view cut off by a live view of the webcam right now. It's not part of... It's like it's just being slapped on top with OBS because my streaming layout like slows it down. Slows down things a bit. They become less...
Detecting species of cat are called...
Hold on, one second. They become less smooth. 60 FPS, just every frames are sometimes skipped and duplicated. It's weird. And I can't find out why. So it's just slapped on top because I want you to see the full 60 FPS. Anyway.
Detecting species of cat are called yuki. They are mostly spotted on coding and other technical related habitats. They are usually very calm species, but throwing cheese at their heads can set them off and they alert their pack members with loud meows and growls. Be nice and you make the specimen happy. Headpats are appreciated.
It's true. Headpats are appreciated. Hi Yuki, welcome. Exactly like that, you know. We also had similar issues with spout and larger textures. Yeah, oh man. You can see pretty lights. Yes! You finally get to see pretty lights. Now I just need to flux the capacitor. I did eventually add capacitors on the back of the boards. I'm not sure if I took a photo of them with the capacitors on them. But anyway. I just want to show you the things, and the stream already took way too long to set up for, which is why I'm trying to rush into it, because I have to be quiet in like half an hour, but anyway. And I also have 2 wires extended out to my desk, which I can short together to do this. It resets it, and when it resets, it does this cool pattern where it shows every LED at full brightness, and you get to see just how much I'm actually darkening everything to try to make the LEDs match. Well, I'm darkening everything except for the green LEDs. The green LEDs are so dim, they're at max brightness. And the red LEDs are almost at min brightness because I'm trying to match the brightnesses, so you're not just blinded by everything other than green. Anyway, yeah, so I would just like to show you what it looks like playing certain things. But I guess I should also show you what all the LEDs mean. The green LED by itself on the left there, all by itself, means that channel is in percussion mode. So it's going to play percussion, nothing else is at the moment. I'm just trying to... Where's a good photo where you can see everything? I don't know if there is one.
Did you hear about the cat that swallowed a ball of yarn? She had a litter of mittens.
Oh my god! Hi. The reset button isn't even a button. Not yet. I haven't quite finished it yet. Maybe I lied and I said that we finished it. It's almost finished. So on the far... Oh my god, I literally can't show you on this because it's on top. Ah, screw it. Let's just turn it off for a sec. There we are. Already delayed. It's all gone. Thank you for the pats very much, Jockebro. I will get to doing the redeems in a minute. Thank you. Also, instrument number is here. This is just like MIDI instrument number. This here is meant to form a digit 1 because I didn't want to use another one of these. They are at the correct position, but the colors don't match in the slightest, which is something I didn't think of. I think you can get the music going again now. This one is for if the MIDI channel is in monophonic mode, percussion mode, or and these are not mutually exclusive. It can be in monophonic mode and it can be in percussive mode at the same time. Also, welcome heat map. Did I say heat map? Blinding Lights, the weekend featuring Yuki VT. Yeah, I'm doing the visuals. This here is variation. Like it's not a standard 127. One of the standard 128, I should say, MIDI instruments. This is if it's using like one of Roland's or Yamaha's fancy-ass extra thingies using bank selects. This one is the only pink LED of its size on here. It means that we're using the effects processor on that channel. There is like one effect processor on the entire synthesizer. This synthesizer, by the way, that is playing on is a sound canvas synthesizer. And so it can be set up to like do distortion or extra fancy reverb, compressor, and stuff like that. But only one over the entire synth, and then you can route any of the 16 channels to it. But yeah, only one fancy effect at a time. Get those fancy digital audio workstations out of here. By the way, this looks wonky. The LEDs look wonky here. I hadn't neatened them up at the time. These blue LEDs are like pedals that you'd find on a piano. We've got the sustain pedal, we've got the soft pedal, and the sostenuto pedal. Trying to remember the difference between sustain and sostenuto. I think they're basically the same thing, except that one pedal, when you press it down, it affects notes that were already playing, and the other pedal doesn't affect notes that were already playing. God knows what black magic of mechanics are inside a piano to actually make it behave that way on a real-life piano, but thankfully I'm not designing a real-life piano. I'm not even designing a synthesizer. We have volume, one effect bus, yes. There is also one chorus bus and one reverb bus and one delay echo bus. So if you want just reverb or chorus or a delay echo, you don't need to set up a special effect thingy. Then we have the volume bar graph. These are all like bar graphs, by the way, in case it wasn't obvious. Why? Can I skip to one where I neaten things out a bit more? Yes, but now you can't read jack. You can't read the labels either. Can we read them on here? Not really. This is the only photo where you can actually easily read things. Oh no. Then we have the so-called expression bar. This is also just a volume control, but there are two volume controls. And the reason is that if you want like an instrument to like change in volume over time, like maybe you're playing like a flute and you want it to go like like extra loud and clipping nastily in the mic like that, then you can use like this bar, this control, this expression thingy, and then this one you could use to just set the overall volume in the mix, which is like super useful because otherwise, if you like you did like a complex like performance, right, where you're changing the volume all the time and you just wanted to make the entire thing a little bit quieter, you'd have to like affect all of those little volume changes. You'd have to scale them all up or down if you didn't have two separate ones. But since you have a separate bar just for the overall mix, you can just be like one extra volume control change at the beginning and bam, the entire thing is scaled up. Anyway, that's why there are two volume things in MIDI. Thanks for going to my TED Talk. Just kidding, the TED Talk's only just beginning. Yeah, it's not quite that bad. This must have been fun to solo. Yeah, it was, I believe it was 2080 connections? I can't remember. No, it's 2080 individual LEDs, but that's also counting each of these as individual. No, wait. Oh yeah, I can't remember. Right, we could have a look right now, actually. Have a look on the PCB layout editor. Am I making a thermonuclear bomb? I'm not. I'm just making a thing that shows you what's happening in MIDI files as they play, but it actually works on like live MIDI data, so this can work on, you know, you could literally play this live. You don't have to make a MIDI file. Anyway, this is the board design for it. This is the front side. This is the back side. This is the side you don't usually see, and this is the long uke you don't usually see. How do I flip this? Why can't I flip this? I've forgotten the shortcut to flip in. Control M? Oh, I guess that makes sense. For mlip. No, it's for mirror. Anyway, yeah. The number of connections, layout information, where are we? 3,210. Okay, that's not only counting. Through hole. 1,142 pins per board! And there are 4 boards. And I think this worked out to be 2080 LEDs in total. I can't remember. Anyway, a lot. This was a long-term project. I wasn't thinking I'd ever even get it finished. But by the way, welcome into Womanizer. New model? No, this is just a 2D one because I'm using a webcam. I've turned it off temporarily so that I can get this up on the screen and show you. But yeah, the webcam's, as I always say, taking a break from looking at my face so that it can look at something very nice and pretty instead. That ended up more self-deprecating than I was planning. Sounds like very meditative experience to solar rollers. Yeah, I kind of enjoyed it. It was less enjoying trying to straighten all the LEDs, but in the end, you kind of got into the flow of that as well, just using tweezers. The most time through hold is 50 on a board. That must have taken ages. It did. It was a bunch of 9s. MIDI LED? What's this? These are all LEDs. And MIDI is a musical instrument digital interface, which is basically the way that you will connect electronic musical instruments to a computer. Even nowadays, you're basically going to be using it. And even in software, a lot of things will send MIDI messages between. Well, actually, that's more of a pain. To be honest, they probably mostly use OSC for inter-process communication, but harder at least. MIDI LED. I don't know what MIDI LED is. It's a MIDI LED display. Not just instruments. Not just instruments? Not just instruments? I guess there are also extensions for like controlling lighting and stage stuff as well. Then we have these green ones, which are to do with the volume envelope, the way the volume changes over time. You can change the attack speed, the decay speed, and the release speed. Attack is how the sound fades in when you press the key. Release is how the sound fades out when you release the key. And decay is how the volume fades down a little bit while you're holding the key, but it hasn't yet reached the volume that is going to go down to. So basically, these are all speeds. So in the middle position of these ones are like relative. So these ones are sort of absolute, so you can have a value that ranges from 0 up to the bottom to the top to the bottom. These ones are relative, so like middle LED is like default, and then you can go above to increase, make it slower, and down to decrease, make it faster. I'm just rushing through these because like I kind of want to actually show it working, but then we have like how much you're sending the sound of this instrument to the reverb processor, the chorus processor. So the reverb to make it like sound spatial like this, the chorus processor to make it sound like a very toned down version of this. Hang on, let me change that effect to make it a nicer sound. I am technically using a chorus processor to make this effect, but I've cranked things to awfully high levels. Normally it makes a nice sound. Like this. It's just like, a much more tame version of this. And a delay echo, which I also don't have an example of. Hang on, I can do this with my voice. It's like this. There we are. Then we have cutoff and resonance, which are... I think I can easily demonstrate this. So these are for like muffling a sound or making it less muffled, I guess, because these are also defaults. You can pull it above what the default sound is. Anyway, so it'd be a little something like this. The cutoff's really high, the cutoff's coming down, it's going down, down. And it's actually what happens when I no, not that one. When I get censored like this, there's a beep. There's a beep, and then I also get muffled. That's the cutoff frequency.
Beep,
and
beep, hi, mighty funny sounds.
Yeah, nice funny sounds. Hi, Jocko. And resonance is it kind of works in conjunction with cutoff. I mean, they both are controls for a filter. And if you increase the resonance, then the exact frequency where the cutoff is happening becomes boosted. There you go. And then there's portamento, which is like a glide from the previous note's pitch up to the current one. This is how slow that'll be. This is if it'll happen to all notes, or this is if it'll only happen to the next one note. Pitch bend sensitivity. You can pitch up a sound that's already playing in like a smooth way, not just snapping to the nearest note, but you can like bend it up and down a bit. That's what this graph is for. Again, you can bend down, so anything to the left of center is down, anything to the right of center is up, and the number shown here is the maximum number of semitones that you can bend by. So when this is all the way up here, that's how many you'll bend by. Why the hell am I in jail? I'm just trying to explain things that are in MIDI that is also on this thing that you're going to be seeing flashing before your eyes. I don't expect anyone to remember all this. If I'd thought ahead, I would have put like a...
Cheese.
Yeah, exactly. I would have put cheese on my face. I would have put like a key up on the screen that can stay there for people to look at while it's playing, but I didn't because I'm an idiot. Hi, Tense. Hi, Omni. Why? Hi, Comstil. Why?
Cheese.
Linted! I saw you in there. Welcome.
Cheese.
And hi, Lucky Bear thing as well. Honestly, so cool. Thank you! We're gonna see it working soon, hopefully. This is all broken. Could you call the bottom one the last pitch bender? You could. You actually could. Modulation, I think when people were inventing the MIDI spec, they were very tiptoeing around, like they weren't sure exactly what people would want, and they were just making things with very ambiguous sounding names that people can interpret however they want. But how instrument makers actually came to interpret this is it's just vibrato. It's literally just vibrato. That's how, at least that's how general MIDI things used. It's so the modulation refers to the pitch being modulated. There we are. And then, just to make things more confusing, what is that? There's a whole section for vibrato? Oh dear, I thought I just said that was vibrato. I did! And then flipping, people went and made an extra kind of vibrato that the synthesizers can just automatically apply if they're fancy enough. And then there's control of that. You can speed it up or slow it down. You can make it stronger, you can make it weaker. You can add a delay before it kicks in, or you can make it kick in really quickly. Panning left to right. I'm guessing people know what that is, but I can easily demonstrate it. There you go, you're welcome. This is how many notes are playing at once. And that's it, that's everything. Oh, by the way, this entire section here is just like overall statistics for the channel, basically. So this is a number of things that are currently playing. Not counting ones that have been released but are still fading away, because this thing doesn't really understand, you know, this doesn't know what the synthesizer, what sound is making. So when the note gets released, the synth might stop the sound immediately, or it might let it fade away for the next 5 minutes. My board can't possibly know that, so this just is the number of notes that are currently being pressed. Panning up and down on mobile. Hang on, I'm gonna pop my head up from below. Is right below or is left below? I guess left is below, right? Or is right below? I don't know. Hang on, let me do the thing. Hi, I'm below. I'm just gonna pop up now. Hi! There we are. I'm very sorry for everybody who's not on mobile. Can you make the delay negative so it plays before you hit the keys on the keyboard? Unfortunately, I haven't. Like, time travel was not included in the MIDI specifications. I know it's very short-sighted of them. But unfortunately, it's not so short-sighted that it was negative. Why am I hearing myself more on the right speaker than the left? Did I not center it properly? I did. I think my headphones are just being weird. It goes backwards. God damn it. I had a 50-50 chance and I got it the wrong way around. Such a rare occurrence that when it happens, I suddenly remember having 2 speakers. And then the things on the right just flash once when a message of a certain type is released. Is released? What? Still talking about keys being released. So any message that affects the volume flashes this volume band, this red LED. Any message that affects the filter, so that the cutoff frequency, the getting muffled and stuff, affects this one. And any message that affects the pitch affects this one. So this includes pitch bends, but also vibrato and stuff. And volume affects literal volume changes, but also like the volume envelope changing. And filter, I think filter only affects the cutoff and... Oh, I think filter I think probably lights up when reverb and chorus and things. Basically, it's like anything that filters the sound in some way. That's a horrible cop-out though, because like everything changes the sound in some way. That's why it's a parameter. You're trying to change the sound. This is a synthesizer, goddammit. I'm planning on making a cover with holes. I did want to make a cover that actually, it's, what's the word? A tinted cover. Like a smoked cover to make it darker, because something you might notice if I turn this on is that the color from one LED blends into the nearby ones, like it physically leaks out of the side of the LEDs and it lights up the plastic of the next LED and it makes it a little harder to tell. But if in real life you squint at this, it doesn't really work on the computer much. But in real life, if you squint, it becomes incredibly clear. And like you only see the brightest part. That is the LED that's lit, and you don't see the light leaking into the sideways ones. And this works as well if you put like a tinted window in front. And I think this is why a lot of old equipment that used vacuum fluorescent displays and LED displays had this darkened plastic cover in front of like a lens in front of them, because it just makes it clearer to see and also makes it impossible to read what's on the circuit board, unfortunately. I'll probably have to print something to stick on the front to show the label again. But not for each separate LED, no. Is this a 16-channel synth? It is. It is. This is only one of 4 of these modules. It's like modular. And then these ones here are the message type in like a more raw technical sense of the term. In the MIDI protocol, a message can be of note on off type, of control change type, of an RPN or RPN, of system exclusive, and miscellaneous. Miscellaneous would include pitch bends because that's its very own special type. And that's what these are. But I'm not going to get into these. These are super nerdy technical stuff that's not really important for understanding this. It's just that every time you see a flash on this area of a certain kind, something has changed. Either a note has started or stopped, or one of these things has changed. There you go. That's basically it. Whew, holy crap, I wasn't expecting that to take so long. God damn. Whoa! Thank you very much for the sub, Goldilocks. Welcome, welcome. That's a good name. And hi, Math. Welcome, welcome. Oh, Mathicha? I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, this isn't a synthesizer itself. This is just a visualizer for the MIDI messages. It's going to be playing on a Roland Soundcamera synthesizer. Actually, I should unmute it on OBS right now. And then if I do a thing, you should hear it. Obviously, I'll stop the music, my background music playing when I'm playing this. Yeah, should we see it in action? Should we see things happen? I'm going to show things happening. Oh, one more note. This one used to flash when the note was received, like a note started playing, or when a note stopped playing, which is what it should do. But I thought it was easier to understand when it only flashed when a note is received, because you can still tell. Whoa! Welcome, welcome, Meteora. Hi, hi. You can still tell when a note stops because the note count goes down. Thank you very much for the raid, Meteora. Hi, hi. How was stream? You are about to witness flashy, colorful lights. Welcome. Hi, Pomba Mandak. Hi, hi. Welcome, welcome. Welcome, Enning. How was stream? Let me shout you out. Meteora VT. Onward to Yuki's realm we go, where magic and fun overflow. Not sure about that. Raid time, lads. Let's show her our might. You show me your might. Welcome. Are you doing karaoke? Music stuff. Oh my god, this is perfect. I'm about to be showing music stuff. And visuals for them. How'd it go? Hope your voice is not hurting too much. Remember to drink and like give it a rest. Your voice, that is. That's not me saying, hey, please stop singing. I don't want to hear you. It could be interpreted that way. But welcome. How was AI VTuber? Well, I hope your AI voice is also okay. Sorry. But yeah, welcome, welcome. Hello. Sorry, I'm 2D right now, and then there's a reason. I'm normally 3D. Meet is AI, so a voice lasts for a while. Good. I'm glad it's okay. I hope you all had fun. But hi, welcome. I'm a weird cat. I'm normally 3D. Look, I have a 3D room and stuff, but I'm just a 2D plane right now. I go invisible if I turn too far. Ah! Ah! I'm in the void. Ah! I'm back. Hi. Also, my room is really hot.
Please.
Why? Why? Hi, Chaos. Her voice still breaks sometimes. Oh, give her headpads for me, please. Flat cat. Yeah, I'm a little flat right now. So yeah, so this right here is an LED display, like a physical, real life thing. Look, here it is. This is how the final thing looks, and you're about to see this with a terrible resolution camera, but at least it's 60 FPS. It's the only way I can get 60 FPS live video on stream. So excuse the fact that it's 640 by 480 resolution and just observe that at least it's smooth. Anyway. Oh, what the hell? Oh. Man. Bab. You aren't really interested in embedded software dev or hardware design? What are you talking about? I literally hardware designed this whole thing and then wrote the software for a microcontroller to control it. I'm super into that stuff. And I'm making a long uke now, which is also being controlled by a microcontroller. Should we be able to get into the industry easily with that kind of devotion? That would be nice. I don't know how to do that. If you have any advice, please let me know. Anyway, hi. Welcome in, Rodney. And welcome in, Exia. Hi. Are these images on your Discord server? I think I've posted every one of these on the Discord server, yes. I mean, maybe not both of these. It seems a bit redundant. Oh, maybe I did actually, because this one's before I straightened up some LEDs. This one's after. Look at them all. Look how neat they are. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I have posted most, if not all of these. And the videos as well. There are some videos that I've posted. Hold on, there's a Nyan. Nyan! Oh, I didn't stop. Hold on. Nyan! There you go. Hope that was to your liking. That was a 1,000 yen for Aiden Crab. I also need to hydrate and posture check. Thanks to Stewie. That was ages ago, but I'm doing it now. Ugh. Sorry about that. Finally got around to it. I need the hydration for my throat now. That was 33 minutes ago. That's crazy. All right, now it's 10 p.m. and I have to shut up. Let's actually see it working. And I know it's off to the right of the screen. Sorry, let me turn this on. There you are. Hold on, wait. Oh, it's still broke. There we go. There we go. That's the layout. Also, ignore the cropping and the fact that it's not properly black. Anyway, this and the Long Uke are excellent portfolio pieces. Thank you. Thank you. I thought I remembered you were hesitant to get a job like that because you didn't want your passion to become just work. No, you are remembering that correctly. I am very into this stuff. But, yeah, I don't know. It would be nice to have some money. Anyway, there you go. That's what it looks like when it's doing the reset. It's just like a test that I made to make sure that every LED is working, which they weren't at first, so I had to fix a couple of crap connections. Also, I'm pretty sure I put an LED in backwards on 1 or 2 occasions. With thousands of LEDs, it's like there's no way you're getting there's no way everything is working perfectly first time, right? By the way, so this is like fully working for all of the so for General MIDI and all of Roland's documented messages, and almost some undocumented ones as well. Not quite. I mean, it is like semi consistently. And it's mostly working with Yamahas as well, but I have noticed a glitch, but we're not going to be playing any MIDIs made for Yamaha synthesizers today. There is a bug with the Yamaha ones where it makes a false assumption about whether the channel's in percussion mode or not. But that's the only problem I've seen. I'm going to have to debug that sometime, but that time is not now. This time is, or this time, oh, the camera's moved a bit, hold on. This time is just for looking at flashy things. Hold on. I gotta move this down a bit. The camera's moved. Wait, why can't I move it? Oh, there we go. That's weird. I wasn't moving at first. You can just have this on my wall, turn all the LEDs, and enjoy staring at it work. Well, let me allow you to do that right now. I'm gonna play a MIDI that I made. I'm gonna click the seek back, which is probably gonna make this send some messages. Yeah, look at that. That's just this MIDI sequencer. Let me stop this background music. Making sure that the synth is up to date with wherever the play cursor is. As I jump around, things happen. But let's not spoil that. I'm gonna press play now. Oh, hang on, have I muted the... Yeah. Look at that! The way all the setups get sent. Yeah, so this music that plays... So what's happening right here is the choiry sound is on the first channel. The top one. Hi, Crazy Kitty! I'm gonna move this sideways a little bit so that you can see the names of the instruments. There. So this one here, you can see the colors or some matches at least. I also made sure the camera's like nicely in sync. I think it was. I think it is. It was before at least. So yeah, this BRB music that plays when I'm being right back is some music I made. Unfortunately, you can't see which notes are currently playing. I did consider making a separate board that shows every note for every channel. But that would be 16 times 112. Another 2048 LEDs. I might do it differently, because these are quite expensive boards. Am I a composer? I guess I am. Man, that gong sound is such a nice sound on the synthesizer. It does so much heavy lifting in this song. A single board? can't remember. I would be able to find out if I had a look. But in just parts and assembly, like SMD soldering costs. Man, I can't remember. And I've got like the cost of the failed prototype on there as well, which is even more expensive. It's probably... A single board is... I can tell you the price of the whole thing for this one. I think it was around £200. So you could divide that by 4 and say 50. But it doesn't really work that way though, because you've got to buy in bulk and then they have to assemble them all anyway. And yeah, that's less than the first prototype board because of how crappily I designed the first prototype board. I used a really expensive shift register, which ended up being the wrong type of shift register, and it was, yeah. Nearly half of that price was just for the shift registers on the first one. But yeah, I guess I could use this as like a time to shill that I do take music commissions. Okay, there we are. That's the entire shilling for the stream done. That's it. I don't like saying it. I hate shilling myself. It feels so bad and awkward. You're very kind, Stravinkle. Do I have the long uke song? Oh, I do! I know what one you mean. The one you're probably thinking of is like the one that was made for, by the way, all these are made to loop, so here it would loop back to the beginning. By the way, these were all made for Nova Liminal's Chill Vibes Game Jam. Which I can actually link to. You can download all of these particular ones right now. Yeah, these are all released for this, if anyone's interested. If Itch hasn't fucking taken them down! Ugh. Topical drama going on right now with Itch. But anyway, it's not just Itch. It's not Itch's fault either. Anyway, so yeah, that was... thank you. I do have that one. You're probably thinking of the version that was made for like the FM synthesis, but that is actually just a remake of one that I made that was originally a MIDI file. So yes, I can play that. I want to go through these in order though, otherwise I'm going to skip one for sure by mistake. This is the second one I made for Nova's Chill Vibes Art Jam. Kinda different vibes. Dare I say a little less chill? Oh god, when it's this size I can't click the buttons to show everything. There we are. Oh, it's shrunk itself. Turning it down a bit, sorry. Perfect. So this is meant to be boss music, as you can tell by the name. A lot of people have said this gives them... Why have I really one? A lot of people have said this gives them Mega Man X vibes, but I've never played that game. I don't know how it is. So do you see the second red bar? Yeah, the second red bar down. Oh, it's a bit late now, actually. Well, the sixth channel, the one that's to the left. Oh wait, my mouse pointer. Yeah, the sixth one, like to the left of my mouse pointer here, is like the organ sound. This sound, and you can see the red bar like go up and down as it bends, which is kind of fun. It looks like I left some stuff up on the first channel. Look at that. I left some stuff copy and pasted up on the first channel. Even though nothing's playing right now, there are messages being sent. Whoops. Just a bit of extra data to pad out the MIDI file there, make it look a bit bigger than it needs to be. What did I leave on that channel? What did I leave on there? What is it? Oh. It's the messages for controlling the cutoff filter of like the acid bass sound. So this this. The way the filter's going up. And then down. By the way, that's why there's a pink LED up on the top channel. It's going through the distortion effect. If I turn it off, it sounds like this. Yeah, that distortion process is doing a lot of heavy lifting there. Anyway. It's also on the left speaker rather than the right because that effect specifically processes left and right channel as completely different things. So you can actually use that effect on two different channels. Pan one hard left, one hard right, and sort of set up a different distortion for each channel. So some of the effects sort of use that to help get around the limitation of only one effect processor. Anyway, listen to this. My stream is beginning now. Ha ha. 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 Ha ha. Ha. There it is. Hang on a second. Have I got a noise gate on here? I had that cut in hard rather than fade in. I have a noise gate on. I do! I'm gonna get rid of that. Get out of here. Did I compose this in a tracker? No, I composed it using this program right here. Which is called Sekaiju, which is a free thing. It's not open source, but it is using... the person who made this also made a library for dealing with MIDI files, which is open source. Called Open MIDI. I think it's called Open MIDI. Is it called Open MIDI? Yeah, it's called Open MIDI. Open MIDI project. No, I composed this here on the piano roll and putting things in here. And I also used a program called GS Advanced Editor, which if I load right now will reset the synth. So... well, I'll do it anyway because it's gonna be funny. Yeah, so I also use this program called GS Advanced Editor. Let me load the correct setup for this to make it sound correct. Hold on. Stuff gradually comes in as the messages get sent. We're still missing a long drone note, unfortunately. Let me just... Okay. Anyway, yeah, so this program is a way of setting up a lot of parameters on the synthesizer, including like details of all these different processes. And these are the different insertion effects that can be used. I am actually using distortion in this one, or overdrive. There's a bunch of different windows for different things, and yeah, there's a lot in this program. So I use that to sort of do a lot of the setting up of the things that I'd otherwise have to use buttons on the synthesizer for. There are some missing notes not playing right now. I think... Yeah, we have a... There's one long note that's refusing to restart playing, unfortunately, right now. Oh well, that's kind of annoying, isn't it? Playing now? I think it's playing now. I'm not sure. Sounds like there's something lacking. I'm not sure. Am I going to release a single Yukia? A single Yukia, or maybe an album? A single Yukia? A whole one? I mean, these ones are released with the link I gave just above. I'll paste it again. You can grab that. Long Uke records? That sounds pretty cool. In my mind, why do I have a picture of frantically searching for stuff on my desk? Yeah, it's probably me. It's probably because you've seen that. I can't scroll up. There we are. Tension, hi. I did not play this live with the piano, no. I inserted the notes on here, like this. I'll just choose one where you'll actually hear it. Magic sleepy sound. Also, hi Asriel! I'm gonna nyan. Well, I'm just gonna turn down the synthesizer a bit while I do it. Nyan! Also, this particular where's Rio song? This particular one is this particular song uses a very fancy drum kit. It's called Reverse FX, and it has a bunch of normal drum kit sounds that are reversed, which is very cool that that's an option. You're very kind, Tense. On one of my commissions, I did actually live play an improvisation part, but I'm not very good at live improvisation, so it took quite a few attempts, and I ended up playing it at half speed, and then like speeding it up in the MIDI editor, and like correcting a few mistakes and stuff. But yeah, these are a bunch of sounds that are on the Reverse FX kit. So there's that one. And then finally, this is the last one that I made for Nova's Chill Vibes Game Jam. This is gonna have some glitchy sounds every time this scrolls, unfortunately, because this program takes a moment to redraw the window. And when it redraws, like, no MIDI messages are sent. They're being done on the same thread. Drawing the window and sending messages are being done on the same thread, unfortunately. So if you notice like a momentary glitch when it scrolls, actually not noticing anything at the moment. That's nice. Look at all these individual notes. This one that just started is my favorite channel. This one. Maybe it's because the window's small. Yeah, that might be why. Oh, that fifth channel, the way you can see the panning to the left of my mouse pointer here. The yellow going left and right is very fun. Also, the fourth channel that's doing the kicks, going like is using portamento to do that. It's like a square wave. It starts high and then uses portamento to bend to like a much lower note. So it's like, and so like this is one of the, I think the only MIDI I've ever made where I'm actually using portamento. So that little red flashing LED around the middle of the fourth column is when I set up portamento to do this. Okay, there you noticed possibly a glitch when it scrolled the view. Yeah, I'm using velocity a lot. So if we just only show velocity on the graph, okay, most of the lines were already velocity. So this channel, for example, which is this. These are like these notes all playing at different velocities to give the effect of them fading out. But man, I just want to replay the chorus, but just only listening to that sawtooth arpeggio. Because it's, I don't know, I just really like the chords that it plays, I'm sorry. It's my favorite channel. Hold on, where are we? Scroll. Here, this one. Oh god, we got a stuck note. This one. I love making these chords. Ah! Why? It'd be fun to make like a version of this where these are not like arpeggiated, but just held out in like long chords of like strings playing these notes. Have like an orchestral version of this, might be fun. Why cheese? Hi David. But why cheese? Also hi Sass. But why cheese? Was there anyone who could figure out how to get the EQ to connect to the owner's iPad? Do you know EQ is the one thing that is not shown on my LED display? The synthesizer does actually have an EQ. It's very primitive, It's only got 2 bands, a low band and a high band. And there's also like a middle area where you can just like define, which is not changed. So you can basically set what the low band's frequency is and how much is boosted or cut, and set what the high band's frequency is and how much is boosted or cut. But I don't show that on the display because it's so rarely used.
Because long cheese for long uke.
Hi Luna, welcome. Long cheese for long uke. Oh, like a cheese string? That would work. But yeah, hi sis. I was the only one who could figure out how to get the EQ to connect to the owner's iPad. The EQ to connect to the owner's iPad. What is this? Oh, I missed the first message. This sends me back to when I was doing youth group. Wait, what's I'm gonna do is EQ to an owner's iPad. Wait, I was expecting the first message to explain it. Sorry. I've memories of everything from demo parties I've attended. That's so cool. I've never been to a demo party. I'd like to. Anyway, I'm gonna go through some commissions now. This is the very first commission that I had. These are all released now, so it's not like I'm, like, you know, spoiling some things for other people. These are long since released. Actually, I guess one of them hasn't, but it's for a game that is possibly abandoned, and I know the person, and it's fine with them. But I should. It's a lot of people, and it's scary. So some of these I might not have saved the setup data for. Okay, I have. You see this really colorful area here? These, like, you know, the messages are color-coded, right, according to which channel they're on. And the same with these notes, like this is on one channel. That's not what it's going to sound like in this MIDI. It hasn't run the setup messages for this MIDI yet. But yeah, when you see a big block of colorful lines at the beginning, that means that I've actually have bothered to copy and paste the setup messages that were made by GS Advanced Editor, that fancy, complicated-ass program I showed on screen a moment ago, into here. I think I've forgotten to do that with some. So I'll have to actually load up GS Advanced Editor for those ones. Anyway, here's the first one. Thank you, David! So this was for like a very like whimsical VM that was a friend made for a game jam. Not Novas. So think of like Needy Streamer Overdose, something like that, but also with the vibes of the streamer who was running the game jam. That was Virtual Harvey. I really miss her streams. But she's a cute and kind of very unserious streamer, so I tried to make it like that as well. I don't know. I tried to add her vibes. I was trying to give it sort of the VN vibes. Then we have this part. So these pink lines here are the expression, that the way the volume can change over time. So that's for the strings here. We'll see them fade away here. There they go. And then it would loop like this. So basically, when someone commissions me, I record the whole thing out, and then I like do like you know, make it a seamless loop on Audacity. But yeah. We're just hearing the MIDI files here, which I'm just playing live, so unfortunately I can't. I guess I could possibly set up loop points to make them loop, but I haven't because I knew I was going to do it in Audacity afterwards, so I didn't bother. That's why. Anyway, if someone actually wants the MIDI files, which is an option I provide, then I could absolutely do that if they want me to. Anyway, this one is, or was, I don't know if it still is, used by Kat. A very close friend for her streams, starting soon screen, which is think cyberpunky nighttime neon lights kind of stuff. I had to keep this one relatively simple because that's how the references were that she gave me. These blue lines here are pitch bends. You can see it on the 4th channel down. This one has some effects which are really fun to make towards the end. I tried to make the sound of flying cars to go along with an animation that she was going to make. I don't know if she ever did, but... Man, those synth drums! They're so good. That's not me complimenting myself, that's me complimenting the drum kit of the synth. And here, if you look near the bottom... Oh, never mind, it's around the middle actually. The bottom channels were actually the rain and the wind and the thunder, I forgot about that. And then this would loop like that. Cars zooming by. Yeah, it's really fun to do. Wait, let me show them actually. Because they're funny. Slash fun. Slash E. Fun. E. Fun. Here's one of the flying cars. Wait. Hold on. It's like the car has to stop, back up, and do a double take. It's like... Wait, what did you say? Okay. And the third one is this. It's kind of a fun instrument. Anyway. This one was fun to work out. I don't think I've got the setup messages for this one in here, so I'm like an idiot. I'm gonna have to open up. Yeah, there's nothing in there. Look, nothing. This one was fun. So if I play this, it's gonna sound like crap. So that's why I'm gonna load GS Advanced Editor. Somewhat of. Bear with me. Hold on. Hold. There we are. The difference it makes, man. This one, the reference was the menu music in Shenmue. Old, I believe it was PlayStation 1 game? I'm not sure. It might not have been PlayStation 1. It might have been, no, I think, no, was it PlayStation? Or was it something like Dreamcast? More the thing that I never had. Anyway, something from that era. I never had a Dreamcast. Never even had a Nintendo 64, which I guess it also could have been. Ah, it was Dreamcast. Okay, okay. I once heard a piece of music with this really washed out piano and I thought, what a vibe. So I wanted to put that in here. This is like maximum reverb on the piano, but that still wasn't enough reverb, so I had to go in and edit the reverb processor to turn up the reverb level even higher, and then compensate on every other channel by turning down the reverb level. Ugh. I like doing these dynamics, like on the flute or the wind instrument here. All these lines are like how the volume changes. Well, these lines are how the volume changes. And these lines are how the harshness changes. I accidentally left in some extra notes, MIDI notes if you like, but notes like the notepad kind of sense of the notes, like the incomplete stuff that I was working on the end. Anyway, I know. Doing these like more delicate sort of changing of volume over time like this. Wait, what channel is this? Oh, this one, whoops. I enjoy it. It makes... wait, let me just demonstrate the difference with and without it, because I don't know if this is coming across. Okay, no expression changes, and I guess you should also make no filter changes as well. Where was filter? There it is. We'll just keep it at the default. You just get like this long note that's just like constantly there and like annoying and shrillish that doesn't calmly go away. Anyway, stuff. Anyway, that was a fun one. I had to like reverse engineer what made that one, what made the fancy ass chords in the original sound fancy, and I was like, okay, it was this note and this note and this note, and then okay, what is that note called online? Oh, it's called I don't remember what the hell it's called anymore, but I wrote it down in Notepad. So I was like, okay, let me use that kind of chord but different chords. Anyway, that was fun. Here's one I made for the clunk. El clunk. This was imagine an old style game. Think of Pokemon Mystery Dungeons kind of music. Imagine your dungeon, like you're in a dungeon in a game, and there's like you're adventuring around, but there's also a sense of danger. So I tried to sort of keep like perilous sounding stuff. So right now this is more brave, adventurous kind of sounding part. And just more of the perilous sounding part, I think. And I changed the reverb processor to actually work more like a delay echo. You can really hear it in those sounds. Because you can actually adjust the reverb processor. You can set the type of reverb, and one of them is literally just a delay echo, so that's what I did. Which seems redundant with a dedicated delay bus, but whatever. That's how it is. That blue there is the flute volume as well. And this orange one is the strings in the background. This part here, it took me so long to work out how to get this to loop back around. I was like, wait, if I go to this chord, how the hell can I get back to this chord? It took me a while to realize that I could actually like make a bold step up to this chord and then just calmly go down. Because from here, well, down to here, it's like one tone, one whole tone. And I was like, that if you do a bold step up from this up to here, everyone is like, ooh, what's happening here? That their attention is taken off the fact that you're going back down there. So it's like, it's almost like a diversion tactic. I was like, how do I get back to here? What if I do a weird thing over here, then this is going to sound natural. How do I make this sound natural? Do a weird thing over here, and then they don't notice that. Anyway, and it worked out to be a correct thing. Inverted chord. Is that why it worked? I haven't learned a huge amount of music theory when it comes to, especially when it comes to the chord types, the fancy ass things like inversion and like, well, inversion is not that complicated, but dominant things and like 9th, 11th, something. Anyway, from someone who's never really tried making music, how long does it usually take to make a song like this? I say that I aim to have it done in less than 2 weeks. This is a very conservative measure, though. I usually don't take that long. Some songs take longer than others, but I aim to have it done in 2 weeks. Sometimes I can have it done in like less than a week, but like it's not so much like the amount of time that I've spent. Why spray? It's not so much like the constant amount of time that I've spent like literally working on it. It's more like sometimes I just need to like wait for a bit, like take a break, and because like I can't always, like when I start out, I'll never know up in front every single part that I'm gonna make, right? Things sort of come to me over time. I'm like, you know, I might be taking a shower and I'll just be like, humming a thing to myself because I have the song that I'm working on in my head, and I'll be like, huh, wait, that kind of works. Well, let me add that. Yeah, I'll just like think of a tune, or maybe I'll hear a sound and it'll make me think of an instrument that's like, man, a harsh sound like that would be perfect at this point in the song I'm working on. So like, it kind of, I can't force it out in like a really short amount of time. Although I didn't think 2 weeks is a long amount of time. That's why I see the longer number of 2 weeks, just in case it happens to take that long. Thanks for going to my TED Talk. Anyway, I'm playing another one now. Ah, yes. This is my first ever time making spooky music. This long lead in here I don't actually use it in the final rendered version. I just wanted to make the note, I wanted to make a note that's long enough for the instrument to like settle down before this begins. What? Perfect. Perfect time. The sound even fits with it. Why is it not scrolling? This one was really fun. I was really uncertain though. At some points. Like putting in these like ghostly high notes that are like super dissonant. It was surprisingly hard to find notes that sounded dissonant. I kept on putting a note in and I was like, wait, that sounds good. It shouldn't sound like that. There's so much technical stuff going on at this point. I want to break it all down. Oh, that was this. Break it down. Look at the displays, it looks so cool. The notes that are being received, I mean the messages. Okay, so this was like, I forgot to mention, but this was the point of this one was like fear of the unknown. So I was like, let's make it so it sounds like something is getting closer and building up. And it's like, what's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? It's about to be revealed. It's like you just peer around the corner because you're sure something is there, and you look around and there's nothing. So I just like hard cut all of the strings. I actually use a MIDI message called all sound off rather than all notes off, because because normally if you play the strings, then when you release the strings, like it has a release time, right? It gradually stops. But I use the message called all sound off, which cuts the release portion of the note as well. So it's just like, nope, silence. Except it's not really properly silenced, unfortunately, because there's still a reverb on it. But I wonder if I can find that one. Which one is it? Slow rises, like tremolo strings. This one, I think. Hold on. It's like instant stop. It looks like I did turn off the reverb beforehand. Hi, Haken. Welcome. It's so ominous. Thank you. What is this sound font? Well, this is playing on like a real hardware synth. It's on my desk. I can like press buttons on it and make things happen. This is Roland's Sound Canvas synthesizer 88 Pro, as it's called. And this particular instrument is it's just the standard tremolo strings actually. It's not even a variation, I think. Yeah, it's not. It's number 14, which is this column to the left of my mouse pointer here. And you can see there is no green LED on the left of it because it's not a variation instrument. 89 Pro coming soon. Nah, there are successors to this. There's 8850 for a start. I think 8850 is like the top of the 88 line. Then there was also like what was the one below it? 55, right. I could just look at the display on my synth because it has a 55 compatibility mode. Anyway, I think there are other ones. I don't remember what they were. It'd be really cool to get my hands on an 8850. Just because they like tried to make each one in the line compatible with the previous one, so each one just adds to like the number of instruments and abilities and stuff. So like an 8850 can like perfectly replicate a MIDI made for the 88 Pro and stuff. Anyway, There's so much stuff happening here. I kind of want to show it. Also, this part here with this percussion. This part was totally inspired by the intro screen of Voices of the Void. Totally inspired by that. I was given that as like a reference and I was like, wait, that sounds that's really cool. I've never heard of music do that. It's like out of nowhere just suddenly comes in and like the tempo is gradually slowing down for it as well. It's like, man, I want to do that. So I did it. What does an 8850 cost? I don't know. These things were like last made in the 90s. So I made 8850 might technically be in the 2000s. The one I have was made in the 90s. And so I don't know. Good luck looking on sites like eBay, I guess. I hope that you can find someone who's taken care of theirs. Acknowledge that you might need to do repairs. I've had to do a couple of repairs on this. This was like in mint condition when I got it, but since then, a couple of components inside failed. Resistor erase, actually, both times. And it took me a while to track it down, but I was able to find a service manual, thankfully. So, which is so useful. It has like the full diagrams and explanations of what each chip does. Yeah, it's amazing. So thanks to that, I was able to do it. This part here, look at all these notes here. So this part, oh wait, what is it? Actually, there's a better example. There's a better example here. Actually, no, that's not a better example. This part here is a better example. Thank you for the pants. Hi, Cat. Welcome, welcome. So this part here, where's the bell? There is a bell sound. Tubular bell, there it is. So I wanted there to be a bell sound, but the bell just sounds like this. And I can't like make it any longer. If I turn up the decay time, it doesn't make it any longer. So that kind of sucks, right? But I was like, well, I know sine wave synthesis. Like, I know every sound is made up of a bunch of sine waves, and the synthesizer has a sine wave instrument. So, like, what if I just look at the sound of a bell on Audacity on the spectrogram, and I look at all the separate, like, lines on the spectrogram, and I work out which harmonic each line is, and I literally just enter that as a note on the piano roll, and set the instrument to sine, and that's what this is. So this sounds like a bell, but because there are many nodes going on, it like the bell never like properly fades away very well. And I did something else to it to make it sound a little weird. There is a very slow vibrato on it, going up and down like this. So it's like the sound of a bell that's not fading away, and there's also getting excited and then bored, and then excited and then bored. But hi, Cat, how are you doing? Right. So that's how I get this really weird sound. I'm just going through a bunch of MIDIs that I've made and showing it on the displays that I made, Cat. So that's how you get this really weird sound. Also, hold on, this isn't quite correct because it also sets up this channel to have random panning, but the sequencer just messed it up. If I play it now, there you go. So the synthesizer also has a mode of panning like that is like random per note. So every single note that you play plays at a different random panning, which is kind of really cool. So like if I put a note down now, what length note is this? 4,680. Can we calm this down a bit? Okay, I don't hear anything. Is the volume being decreased? Oh, the volume is being decreased. That's why I can't hear anything. Okay, let's pull it back to here where the volume's up. I'm just going to click again, and that's on the right. I'm clicking again, that's in the middle. I'm clicking again, it's on the right. Clicking again, middle, left, middle-ish, left, left, middle. Anyway, yeah, it's random every time a note plays, which is really cool. So every one of these notes, every one of these like fragments of a bell is like moving all around in like different left and right, and that's why this sounds so weird. Anyway, I did that once here for the bell sound, I did it once here for extending this violin sound. Oh no, that's not the violin sound. That's like the weird, creepy, squeaky noise. So again here. The same thing happens there. And over here was for extending the violin sound. So at first it is a violin, and then it just transitions into this sound. It's gone on to only the left speaker again, which is annoying. So yeah, a load of weirdly technical things in this one. A fun little glitchy sound there, combined with the noise to make this part. And then also there's like this weird, so this sound, yeah, where was it? There's so much stuff in this one, I swear. Here, the sound here. Hi, Psychic. Thank you for the hydration and posture check. This sound here is I actually did something here. I used something on here where you can set the individual tuning of every single note in the scale separately. Like you can tune, for example, in this, what was it? What note is this? This is G sharp or A flat. And this one is A. So these would normally have a bigger gap between their pitches. But I used the tuning messages to just like only super slightly detune them, just to try and make this other weird eerie noise. It almost sounds like a hinge or something opening. Hope you are doing it. I'm alright, thank you. I gotta go soon because it's late, and I'm really surprised that I haven't been told to shut up yet, but I think people are staying up late tonight, so I'm still talking. Let me hydrate as well. It's like my cat at 3 AM when she's hungry. Oh, the other sound, yeah. Hang on a second. Anyway, hi, Memtooth. I see a message from you. Yeah, this note is my tinnitus. Oh, you're lucky. That's kind of low pitched. Mine's higher. Wait, is it worse to have a higher one or lower one? It's a Friday. It's true. But still, normally people are going to bed like at 10 PM here. Comes handy to be a composer and the electronics expert? I guess so. I'm certainly not an electronics expert. That is not me, but... Have I tried arranging in bass 16? Bass 16? What do you count as on-beat, off-beat? I'm not sure what you mean. I've used 16th notes. Thank you very much, Colmstar. I've used 16th notes. There's probably some other stuff in there that I've forgotten, but let's move on, because I've been on there for like 5 years. Ah! I forgot I made this little thing as well. I'll have to show that at some point. As in, like, right after I show this. Here's one I made for Nova. Maybe this uses 16th notes. Oh, actually, you know what? This one's interesting. This is the first one that I've... Oh, no, that's not true. The first one I played was using, like, triplets and stuff as well. And this one that I made for Nova Liminal, who ran the Chill Vibes Game Jam, she also commissioned one for, like, our Starting Soon music. I'm not sure if she's still using it or not. I think she might be. She commissioned this one, and this one also uses triplets. And here it is. The way every beat is split into 3 instead of 4. Oh, hang on, this part's not used. Let me fast forward. Here, this is where it actually starts. The fast forwarding sound. So I tried to make like a, I think people call it like a breathing or side-chained effect on the strings in here. But I didn't actually use the compressor effect. I just manually did this to the volume, like down, up, down, up. So it's like, not that one. It's like this. Again, having fun with some of these chords. But yeah, if you don't know Nova, she's like super synthwavy in her theming. And she also really likes a song that I now have the vocal version, the karaoke version of, in my music playlist. And that was used as a reference, which you'll totally be able to hear if I play this song.
It's notes around.
No, it's notes or X notes. We've got like 12th notes all the way in here. 3rd and 6th and 12th. triplets all around. This sound here, this... I did a similar trick, but this time it's random noise instead of sine waves, and every note has random pitch. Random pan, sorry. So that's how we get this really spacious sound. The person on the kick drum's getting enthusiastic. You grabbing food? Good stream if you're gone back before I get back. Thank you, Hitmap. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I don't understand the thing on the left. What's its purpose? The thing on the left shows you the current state of... okay, so what's happening as I play this MIDI is notes are getting sent out of my sound interface via the a MIDI interface. So it's like a MIDI cable, which doesn't send audio. It sends messages that are instructions to the synth, like, hey, start playing this note now. And then the synth will just at that moment start playing the sound, and it'll keep on playing it until another message arrives on the cable saying, okay, stop playing that note now. And so there's various kinds of messages. It's like start and stop note, adjust the volume, adjust how muffled it is, choose its instrument. Actually, you should be playing percussion rather than, you know, non-percussion, whatever the hell you call it. Tonal instruments? There's a lot of stuff. And the display on the left shows, it's a thing I made that like keeps track of and displays the current value of a whole load of parameters. MIDI has 16 channels, so at any moment you can be hearing up to 16 different sounds, where one of the so-called sounds is actually a percussion channel, so you can actually be hearing many different percussion sounds at once. Typically 15 different like tonal sounds, or different instruments. Each one of those can be playing more than one note, but 15 different instruments, plus percussion. It's like Sonic 15! And Knuckles. And percussion. And the thing on the left is just showing it all. The number on the left is the instrument number. And the number on the right that you can see right now is the pitch bend sensitivity. So, for example, the 14th one is actually has very high, well, what is it? 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13th one. The top one of the bottom group has very high pitch bend sensitivity right now. What is that channel? Let's have a look. What's instrument rather, sorry. Oh, it's this sound, I think. Yeah, it's this sound. Scroll to where it's playing. Here. It's this long blue note here, which is... can we be able to hear this? How can I make this be audible? It's very quiet because of the expression being pulled down. Let me change this to be very loud instead. So this is a sound effect that's on the synth called the Starship. And this is like a sound that's used at one of these places, and it's pulsing on and off. And this gradually drooping line here is the pitch bend, if we just put only the pitch bend on there. So it's gradually bending down. So if we do that in a more extreme way and very quickly, then yeah, that's why the pitch bend sensitivity of this one is so high, because I wanted to make it bend down in pitch a lot. So we can already have going like and fading away like that. If we make it just stay loud the entire time though and don't fade away. Oh, wait, I just left only the fading away. Oh, it happened way too soon, before the main sound kicked in. Yep, yep. Let's try that. I'll start it a bit earlier, so the sound effect takes a while to like kick in with the really loud sounds. So actually aliasing when it goes really high. That's an interesting sound. Anyway, the sound takes a while to like kick in at the full sound that I wanted. So I started early with the volume turned down. And by the time the note's been going for a while, so the sound kicks in, that's when I turn the volume up. So anyway, that's the thing. It's like a bus visualizer. Yeah, very much. Sorry for screaming really loudly. Yes, it's exactly like that. It's a channel, MIDI channel visualizer. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. And these chords, by the way, that are playing here. No, not here, sorry. They're the piano notes. Back. All these blue notes that gradually get more extreme over time. Not sure if that was like really obvious, but these notes gradually get more extreme over time. And by extreme, I mean like less muffled. Intense would be a better one. So if we start early, they sound like this at the start. And by the end, they're more like this. And they're more muffled over there. So yeah, these notes, I thought, I kind of liked these notes, these chords. So what I did is I just copy and pasted these into a new MIDI. This is just like for myself. I just enjoyed these notes. And I changed the instrument to be like a really realistic string instead of the synth string. And I mean, the instrument name is called synth strings. I'm still using the synthesizer though, but it has a more realistic sound of strings, like from like I think it calls them chamber strings. So I made just this version with just the strings, and oh, that's the lower notes and those are the strings, and I added all like a bunch of dynamics and stuff so that the notes fade on and fade off and stuff, and to try and this also plays at a much slower tempo. And I tried, and it turned into like this kind of melancholic thing. And stupidly, I didn't save the setup messages for this one, so it's going to sound like crap if I play it. But thankfully, I saved it. Let me just play the one that I saved because I kind of liked it. There we are. It's kind of funny. It's the exact same chords, just without the electro backing and just letting the chords like stand for themselves and not be fading on and off. Gives it like a totally different vibe. It's like so much more melancholic. While that plays, I'll prepare the next one. Oh yeah, I think I was really subtly increasing and decreasing vibrato as well. Hi Liquid, thank you! Oh yeah, also massively. You hear that really loud note? I also had fun like cranking the velocity on just certain notes that I found interesting to almost build out a melody out of the chords. So I didn't add any notes, I just like accentuated some a lot. Wait, does this have setup? It does. And that's like a cello in the background playing a note that's probably extremely unrealistically low pitched, but I just liked how it sounded, so screw it! Cello it was. Anyway, here's one now for something completely different. It's a sad music to the streamer's death scene. It's like people mourning the death and then the ghost in the afterlife having the best party of his life. So this one was like, think Ace Attorney and like jazz kind of as the thing. The Ace Attorney's music was given as a reference, and they wanted something kind of funky slash, yeah, funkier. Jazz is a word that I threw in as a way to be able to make sense of what funky means. But hi Bucky, welcome! Also hi Brain Zap. I'd never made anything like this. This was kind of difficult just because of the funky element. This blue is for the strings. This is the magenta is the trumpet. That's a fun, silly, sounding instrument. I think it's this one. Fake echo there. Anyway, this one was quite different to others. The uke is a musical uke? Yeah, from time to time. I'm not sure how much use the display on the left is. I'm gonna be honest. Why does this keep stopping scrolling? Anyway, that's the one. I'm not super proud of that one, I'm gonna be honest. But it is one. I am proud of this one though. This one was for Fix It Fred. I know that they're using on the beginning of their streams. And there's another one that I didn't put the flipping setup messages into. Okay, so everything's a piano. And this is what it sounds like when everything's a piano. Yeah. Let me just do the setup messages. God damn it, past you. Why couldn't you just copy and paste the setup messages into the MIDI file so you didn't have to do this? Alright, prepare for something that sounds different to pianos. Here you go. So this was retro-ish PlayStation 1 / Unreal Tournament vibes, even though I think that Unreal Tournament came sometime after the PlayStation 1, but still the kind of track of music that was in Unreal Tournament is, I think, more was meant. I use that as references. So yeah. The acid. Yeah! I really like this instrument as well. I'll get into what that is later though. Also that ride cymbal. Oh, I'm such a sucker for a ride cymbal. It's like, it just adds tension and energy, man. I love it. And suddenly, let me tell you, manually entering patterns for flipping breakbeat is really fucking hard and time consuming. This is just the breakbeat percussion on the screen now. And I put it through like a retro effect on the synth as well to make it sound even more sampled. I love how fast the display is on the left. Look at that flickering one. On the second channel. It's like, it just looks like a half brightness. A super resonant low pass filter there. Loops like that. When the LED isn't fast enough. The LED is like actually is fast enough. That's what I love about it. It's like it's so fast at reacting that it's like it's drawing it like I can't remember what the effective frame rate of the thing that it's running at is. It's not constant. But I'm fairly sure that it's achieving like over 60 FPS on average. It's just refreshing as fast as it possibly can. But yeah. Anyway, this sound, this sound? No, sorry, it's percussion. Where are we? This sound, which I really like, is an instrument that I normally don't like the sound of. So when I was browsing through the instruments, it normally sounds like this. It's like this really harsh sound. Oh, we got a delay echo on this one. But as you bring the pitch down, like it's actually
Cheese!
it's actually alternating between two notes really slowly. And it sounds really cool, and it's just like pulsed with really short notes for bass, and then letting the delay echo fill that out. Anyway, that was a really fun one to work on. Hi, welcome, Topakato. Hi. Distorted cheese? Yeah, I guess so. It is. I guess. Yeah, I guess. I too saw that. Oh yeah, wait, I'm the one who linked to that. Oh no, I'm not the one who linked to that. Am I the one who linked to that? I can't remember. Anyway, I also saw the 2 minute, 1 minute, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, half hour physics video. It was a half-hour video. But the channel is called, I think, Minute Physics. Minute Physics is the name of the channel. I was confusing the name Minute Physics and 2 minute papers. Anyway, I have to go now because people are coming to bed. But I'll keep going until I show everything. There's not a huge amount left, but I'm going to show it anyway. Yeah, I got to be on the quiet side now. Let me bump my volume slightly. That way I can adequately interrupt my own music so nobody can enjoy it. Just the noise removal a bit. There we are. Alright, next one. The other people should be in here enjoying the show. They should. The display is actually like standing up against my door though, so I can't even get out. This is the one I'm the most proud of in terms of the title I gave it. It's music for like playing in a game where you work in a coffee shop, so I called it Coffee Bop. I was proud of that naming. Oh, another one with no setup messages. What the f is wrong with me? This is the one where I improvised a bit. You'll probably be able to tell where it was the improvising part. It's the only commission I've done where I actually improvised some live playing, because this one is meant to be kind of almost like a lounge or jazzish, just like chill, with someone just like playing away on a piano at one point. Anyway, sounds like this. Also very much unlike anything I ever made before. This is the hardest one to make that I've ever done, like by far. I had to like contact the person and be like, I honestly don't know if I'm going to be able to finish this because I'm struggling really hard to think what to add in some places. We got through it in the end. This part was my improvised part. So this was actually played live for the piano, but at half speed. And then I cleaned up a little bit afterwards. A couple of notes in the editor. But this one was like a revelation to me at one point. It took me so long to realize that less is more for this. It needed to sound like super sparse. That's like what was wanted. And I'm so unused to doing that. Usually I like have so many layers of things just to fill in like the background. I found this, it took me ages to realize that making it more minimal was like added things to this. Like the minimalism is what needed adding. In a way. Because I was making it too busy sounding before and trying too hard to make it too busy. I love this little organ. Going between left and right. That's panning left and right there. Oh, you can see there on the 8th channel down. That's the organ. Look at the little yellow horizontal bar on the right. Like that. So this is meant to sound like a bustling environment, like with energy, but without stress. So basically, didn't want to sound stressful, but I want to sound like a bustling environment, you know, where like there's lots of activity happening, which is kind of Not a thing that I've done before either. I'm usually making more dramatic sounding, serious, like high energy things. So yeah, definitely had to look at a few references for that one. Leia Cat, that's me. And yes, it is hot. The other people should be in here. Oh, I read that one, sorry. I see you are no longer dying of heat. Ah, it's pretty hot. I think this one is the most complicated I've made. It wasn't the hardest. Definitely not the hardest. But this is the most complicated MIDI I've made. Because look how many channels there are. Oh, tracks there are. There are more tracks than there are MIDI channels. 16 MIDI channels is just how the protocol works. But here there are 22, because ignoring the setup track at the beginning. 22 separate tracks. So I actually have to make the notes on these tracks reuse, like reconfigure and reset up mid-MIDI file, mid-MIDI, already used channels and like repurpose them for something else. So yeah. That was the first time I've done that, I think, in a commission at least. And yeah, so this one's really fun to make, but it's quite technically a lot. And this one was for Yuisha. I think she used it as her intro still. It was for her intro. This is also really cyberpunky, but Yuisha's vibes are like, well, she's basically like a Grim Reaper, kind of. Like, they're Grim Reaper vibes. She brings death, you know? So I tried to add Grim Reaper vibes with like a death toll and making it a bit more gothic with like an organ and stuff, but also at the same time cyberpunk and futuristic. So yeah, that's this. Hi, welcome in, Bandita. But yeah, a bunch of channels will get repurposed towards the end. But I'm really happy with how this turned out, like super happy. I really like the dramatic bass as well. Super chorused. Just turn off the velocity. Also, this bend on the bass while making the cutoff go up. It's really nice. Really fun to try. I'm glad it turned out nicely. Yes, it kind of does sound like Distance, doesn't it? The bass is the top channel, by the way. I think, yes. See things resetting themselves up. Instruments were changing around the middle. That second last channel down there, you can see the expression, that second red bar on the left going like so let that sound through. And it loops like that. That was super fun. I really enjoyed that one. There's quite a lot of stuff going on there as well. But I think if I skip back the channels, I'm not going to be set up properly. So I'll need to replay the setup messages, but let's try anyway. Yeah, that's not set up properly. Reset, we go. This part here, that little sort of almost dubsteppy wow sound, I'm fairly sure was taken inspiration, was using a Bachelors of Science song as a reference. One that's called, Bachelors of Science was that the name of the album or the people? I can't remember. Anyway, they made a song called Bombay Sapphire, which every now and then has a bass thing just does exactly that, bends down and the cutoff frequency changes. And I thought, I wonder if I can do something that sounds like that. And I ended up with a sound that's not exactly the same, but it sounds kind of similar and kind of cool-ish. Which channel is this? I was trying to solo it, but I can't find it. My god, which one is it? There's so many and they keep changing. Oh, it's this one probably. Oops. Oh, okay, well, things aren't set up that way anymore. Man, every time I skip back, some part of the configuration gets fucked up, I swear to god. Oh, now the percussion's changed! Ugh. This is what sucks about working in a in a MIDI where you've got the white cheese, in a MIDI where you've got like a bunch of configuration changes throughout. And this editor tries to reapply those changes when you skip back, like whatever the previous ones were, but it's not perfect. Which is kind of annoying. So now you've got this, the kick is now like really high and perky, which it shouldn't be. Sounds like it's in a trance track or something. But it should actually be like a deeper kind of sound. Like this. Way deeper. Anyway, there's all kind of... let me just go through all the channels. We have the bass. This. And this. These are like slightly different instruments and they're also detuned relative to each other. This is like the first melody. I think it's fifths, right? That they're playing. And then we have this. It took me ages to decide on this instrument, man. It's also layered with this. So it's actually these two things. And that. That's basically everything. Oh, wait. I separated percussion as well. We've got this. Along with this. And then all kinds of stuff. If you look around the middle, I think these channels, 1, 2, 4, so 9 to 12, you'll see them like reconfigure themselves on the left if you look at the instrument numbers and stuff. Ah, shit, it was the ones above. I'm sorry. Ah, it's the ones above. Damn it. I lied. I deceived. I misled. Ugh. I'm sorry. Anyway, this sound here, this like sound. Yeah, this one. I'll give you one guess. Don't look at the MIDI note number and look up a list of MIDI instruments. Guess what this sound actually is. I'm giving people 10 seconds to guess if anyone wants to. And I'm going to sit here in painful, awkward silence until 10 seconds are up. Bell. Yeah, sure. I'll take that. Basically, it's... Yes, console! It is a wind chime. Exactly. It's this. Wait, can I get it to play it? Wait, why don't I hear it? What the fuck? Oh, am I looking at the right thing? Hold on. Which flipping channel am I on? Oh my goodness. Oh, this one. Yeah, that's what it would normally sound like. Nice sparkly wind chimes. But playing super low notes and then bending even lower than the lowest note can go. Makes it sound like this. There's also this. That sound is also a sound that you probably wouldn't expect unless you look at the name of the track. It's this! Why do I... Oh, no. It's just people cheering and being happy. This loop goes forward and backwards, by the way. It's like a bi-directional loop. Listen to the clapping. Normally when it's going with other stuff, you don't hear it, but it's kind of clever that they made the sample work that way. Hi, Sun Mike. And anyway, there's this played at a really low speed. And then there's also two at once, and it ends up sounding like this. Which is kind of fun. So many fun effects. What's this one? I remember this one. It says clatter. Oh, I've got the other channel soloed like an idiot. Hold on. This originally is this. It's just like a stringed instrument being like a... I don't know what you call it. Twanged. I don't know how to play it. I don't play a guitar. Have you tried your MIDI LED to play with a fast song like Rush E? No. But does Rush E do like interesting stuff with the control changes? Because this doesn't show the playing notes, unfortunately. Oh, it shows a number of playing notes, but Bye bye, Tension Span. Thank you very much. Bye bye. That was actually one of the very last ones I was going to show because that's all of the commissions. However, I'm also going to show the Long Yukon and a couple of others. Is this Yuke breaking the mainframe? No. Sound effect almost like a siren whooshing by. Oh yeah. I did do that. There's a bunch of sounds being abused for other things. This here, like it's a person screaming normally. But it's being played really low pitched. So it sounds like this instead. Sorry, this is kind of loud. And I chose the notes and bend them up so that it ends up as like a which is like a yeah, a fifth of the bass, which is kind of fun. This is a fancy bird sound, but there are two sounds, so you get that weird dissonance. That's kind of fun. That's just this. It's like a very, it's like a chord pad kind of thing, but when you play two really low down, you can't really hear the musicality at all. It just sounds like noise, which is kind of cool. Fun. This is for that kind of high sound. There's a bunch of stuff in it. It's fun. Anyway, I also try to add like a siren sound like this. Okay. Okay, I think a lot of the setup is fucked up by this point from me skipping forwards and backwards because the siren sure as hell didn't sound like this originally. Okay, the other channel of siren works. Let me hear what this sounds like when I play it though. Oh, it fixed when I played it. Yeah, okay, no mind, it's fine now. Another little flying car sound, like from Cat Swan. Anyway, I think that's most of it. All the time we have this. A bell with like a really long attack time, so it just sounds more like a distant echo of a bell when it's in context. A little bit. Anyway. There you go. More of my beloved ride cymbals going during this part. Now this is the actual wind chimes being played as a wind chime instead of a scary noise during this glistening sound. It's kind of fun how easily you can make it just sound like a rising, like clearing up sound of a chime just by like doing this. Yeah. I say just doing this, it still took a bit of experimenting, but anyway, there you go. That's Yui Shuttle one, the most complicated one I've ever made. Yay! Somebody earlier wanted the pyramid head in the broth. I did see it, the triangular shape. Dare I say the shape of a pyramid. But someone earlier wanted me to play the Long Uke music thingy. And this is actually one that I made originally for Freb. A little charity stream they did with Nova. And they wanted silly, frantic music. I don't think this game ever got finished much, but I made this, and then I ended up repurposing it in a totally different way for the Long Uke game, which I may or may not ever see the light of day. The light of day? This is completely distinct from the Pet Long Uke project. This is the DOS game project. Maybe I'll finish that one day. My god, that'd be nice. Guess what? Oh, there we are. There are set of messages. Unfortunately, I don't know. I didn't know that song has really fast notes. Don't know about MIDI events. No worries. It would be nice to be able to the reverse clap. There you go. I wonder what that would sound like if I recorded that in reverse then. Hold on. I'm going to record in reverse. Wait, what am I recording? Oh, I'm recording this in. Hold on. I got too many audio devices connected. This one. Does this sound precisely like clapping when I reverse it and make it not only be on one ear? That sounded remarkably forward, but nothing like clapping. Prepare for frantic silliness. Oh, what the fuck? Hold on. This one didn't even do a full reset. Let me manually do a full reset. How do you do it again? I forget the button combo. I think it's this and this. Yeah, that one. But it looks like there isn't a proper setup for this either. Yeah, there isn't a full setup. God damn it. I've never used those bam drums in anything. That's my immediate way to tell that it's not been set up. So let's load this. And now it's silly and frantic, but less silly sounding. Where are those sounds? Wait, where are the silly sounds? I don't see them. Ah, they're these sounds. Fuck. Okay, I forgot that I added the slide whistle. The slide whistle is something that was not in the original one. Hey, commission me, I make really good music. Wouldn't you want music that sounds this good? Yeah, so Freb and I were left alone together. And they said, you know what this is missing? A slide whistle. And I said, say no more. And I added it. But originally, it didn't sound like that. If I muted on the synth, it sounded like this. So it did sound a little silly. Meatball Parade? I didn't know that. It sounds silly enough to match with these vibes though. Oh, the high Meatloaf! Wait, it wasn't Meatloaf. Wait, was it Meatloaf? No, it wasn't Meatloaf. Oh, I thought it was Meatloaf because I read Meatball Parade vibes. It was Sass. Oh my god, my brain. My brain is mixing message and person name together. Astrophysical vibes I see from Topocato on the previous one. A wasp filter. There is actually an instrument called waspy bass. I think it's called a wasp bass. And yeah, it sort of sounds waspy. Someone somewhere asked a question and I remember seeing it and I know I didn't answer it and I wanted to answer it and I don't remember what it was. Persona 5 outside the dungeons? No. Give them earplugs. What was the question? I can't find it. You can very much not worry about content matching with it. Thank you. Oh, Kevin McLeod. Oh, I see. I don't know that one. Here's an in-between version of, oh, whatever. This is whatever, just more highly incomplete things that aren't even like remotely. Why did it not do a reset again? Reset, please. That sounded pretty cool still, but. This is, I guess I should explain, but this was, I was trying to make many layers for this, which wouldn't normally all be playing, and the idea would be that I'd render out the layers individually, then I'd make an Fmod Studio project, and then there would be a game made, Oh no, it wouldn't be an F1 Studio project, sorry. You could do this as an F1 Studio project, but I was just going to render them out all separately. And Fred was going to use this in a game that he was making called Dungeon Tubers, which is a dungeon crawling game with VTubers. And the music was going to be dynamic according to who you had in your party. Certain people would like turn on certain layers of the music, so every combination of people in your party would cause the battle music to be different. And this was the battle music. So this is why it sounds like a lot, because there are a lot of channels playing at the moment. But yeah, eventually I think this distortion guitar is going to finish. Oh, it's not. Okay, I'll just mute it. Well, it sounds cool. It was a separate layer that doesn't fit in with the others. Ah, where is it? There it is. There we are. Suddenly different music. Sliders, oh no. This one, I believe, is also kind of hero's journey-ish, if I'm understanding what hero's journey is. So it's like super happy sounding at this point, of course. This is a big work in progress though. The percussion is so copy and paste at the moment. So yeah, I was trying out different instruments for a bunch of parts in here. That's why it keeps changing, because each one was going to be a layer eventually. But it's fun listening to the past things that I never finished. Oh, this wasn't a commission. I finished all the commissions. These kicks here I was inspired by some Toho Project music. Slow default attack time. Yeah. And yeah, so that was the serious part, and now it's like a happy victory kind of feels vibes. Oh, I forgot to mention. But that music that I played last time is the one that I adapted into the theme of the long uke. The city one. And then it would loop. Anyway, I think that's basically everything. I think it's basically everything that I can play. I think. These are silly incomplete things. There is also this. When I shout someone out, that's also a MIDI file that I made. That's also one that I made. Thank you very much for the gift sub, Topacato, and thank you. Congrats to Pro Jared. Thank you very much. That's super kind. Let me just load up the setup for this. Not that one, this one. So when I do a shout out, it sounds like this. No, it doesn't. Stop resetting. I saw you send those reset messages. I saw those LEDs flash. How dare you? I don't know what it is that causes this to sometimes resend setup messages. Anyway, when I shout someone out, it sounds like this. Which is a MIDI I made. There we are. I'm shouting on top of Kato. That's the shout out sound. With super long attack times on these by the sound of it. That's just a sound effect. I've made every sound that I use on my streams now. At the when I first started streaming, the follow sound was actually one that I did not make, but yeah. Now all the sounds that I'm using are mine. And the music as well. Not the music that plays during the background though. That's stuff that I licensed. Although, wait a minute! Of course! Hold on!
Shout out to all my real catchers, quietly with many street hat.
Indeed. Where is trance thing? Oh, there it is. Hell yes, shoutouts to the cat girls. Does your MIDI display visualize velocity? Unfortunately not. It doesn't visualize the notes at all. All it does is count the number of playing notes. I can show you what it does as the number of playing notes goes too high for it to count there. I made it handle that. So, here's a note. Here's another note. Here's another note. Here's another note. Hang on, let me just drag these out like this. Eight, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, let me just play only this. I don't think this is going to sound very good. But just look at the counter on the top channel. I'm using everything else as well. So, oh, this is way too fast. Let me slow down. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So when it's 10, oh my god, I can't do this properly. So when it's 10, it shows like a small 0, because it's only one display, it can't show 1, 0. When it's 11, it can actually display 11. I'm so glad someone pointed out that it's possible to display 11 properly on a single 7-digit display, a 7-segment display. And then when it's too many, it just shows a single line at the top as like an up. The uppermost segment, it lines up to show that there are in excess of 11 notes at once. Anyway, I guess I can also show this as the final ending one, because actually this is a song that is in my music playlist for background music on my streams. This is the first full-length song and also first trance song that I have ever made. So yeah, let's end with this. This is also the most recent thing I've made. So yeah, we can show this off. Oh. It was still half speed. So yes, this is the first time I've made like a full-length thingy. I guess I can show things soloed on here as well. So we had like a long intro. Well, it's not that long actually. I should try and mix this into one of my mix things. And we have this switch up of the bass. Man, delay echo is such a cheat code for making things sound good. Stereo delay echo, I swear. I love that dissonance in the treble there. This sounds very nice as well. Yeah, I wasn't planning on going with like an Eastern vibe when making this, but I realized that the melody sounded good with some kind of plucked like instrument. And I was like, well, I need a pad, so I guess I'll look for another Eastern instrument. So like, fine, I guess we're going Eastern vibe now. So at the moment it has this like super like held back feeling, you know? Almost like a bottled up, it's like gradually, but it's kind of minimal, right? But it's like slowly building, like really slowly, like reserved feeling at the moment, I guess. And it's around this point that I finally bring the clap in. You gotta have a clap for trance, it's actually the law. Yeah, and this sort of ghostly glass sound along the top, I'm not even sure that I like it, but I did the trick again of adding another one, add a pitch of a harmonic to make it higher, to make it clearer sounding. And it kind of holds off from any big climax, and we get to a second round of like a verse. So it's like we didn't even get the payoff the first time around. I denied you, I edged you. But don't worry. We're gonna have a second time. I'm really not happy about this part. This was made, by the way, for a, what do you call it, a music jam, like a game jam, but just like trying to make a song in a few days, and for fun, for people who are learning to make music. They said, hey, anyone who wants to make music and is trying to learn music or just likes playing music, hey, why don't you just make a little thing in a couple of days and submit it, and we can make like a fun little album. So this was my submission for this. From this point on, I really like it, but that point back there was kind of lacking. That's why I was talking over it. Also, Transgate. And yeah, stuff's gradually building. The bass is getting more intense as well. I'm not sure if that was... There's a lot of stuff subtly building behind the scenes, so I'll share it all afterwards. And finally now, for the first ever time, we have like a full change in the chord progression. So I'm hoping that it like hits harder because you were denied the first time. I should have shown all the details of that lead instrument. I originally thought I wanted this to be like a really washed out piano, like one of the earlier things as well. I think it sounded better without that though. And the bass switches again. We have this like really long, gradually fading muffling of these notes. Well, that's already happened actually, never mind. And F stuff just gradually drops out. This part at the end here, when the kicks stop, was actually a mistake. And I was like, wait a minute, that sounds really good. Let me actually put this in just at the end on purpose. I was like, anyway, there you go. Yay. Yay. There's a harsh clap at the end. Oh yeah, I guess we could just repeat that like at the end with like a delay. Hold on. Where was that? It was this, but I need to copy the panning as well. I mean, this is already made. I've already submitted it to the jam and everything. But I guess I could clean some parts up. Perfect. Actually kind of does sound better, huh? I'm actually not sure it does. It would probably be useful if you're trying to mix it into another song though, so. Thank you very much. Thank you, Comsil. I mean, Stravinkle. I guess Comsil as well. Bob Ross seemed like a cool guy. Never knew him though. Oh god. So yeah, like, during this part that's slowly building up, here, think of the pads. If I'm not mistaken, the bass is gradually getting less muffled. Yes. So these orange bars here are the cutoff frequency of the bass. So it's this instrument. Is it running through a distortion? It's not. Wow. It's got a very harsh sounding sound. I like it, but so it's over here. By the end, it's like this extra harsh sound. Anyway, thank you for the pads. But compared to, and everything sort of gradually comes up as well. This sort of pad sound here, or not pad, what's the word? Arp sound. This sound. It becomes much more intense like that. Anyway, yeah. The bass. I kind of like this way was. Yeah, this one I think. I really like this. This is like, so this instrument is normally like used for a lead, by the way. It sounds like this normally. So it's kind of like a very muffled sound with like this one really high harmonic, so it's like, it has a bit of a shimmery sound. But when you play it really low, it kind of more sounds like, it sounds like bass playing on like, I don't know, it reminds me of like, the squeak reminds me of like a dodgy sound interface, but in a good way. I don't know how to explain this. It sounds like an artifact, but it sounds cool, in my opinion. Which I wasn't expecting. Anyway. Yeah, so it ends up going from this. It does the old switcheroo on the bass. But this is actually still playing at this point. It's just much quieter. It goes from this to that while this is playing. So it's actually still there, it's just really subtle. If I mute this, it might be more obvious. There you go. You can kind of hear it in the background there. I actually forgot that I left this main bass going, and then it just comes back for it with a vengeance. Well, it doesn't come back with a vengeance, and it comes back with something earlier in the verse here, and then it just really shines during the chorus as well. So yeah, fun stuff. I really like this instrument as well. I've heard this instrument a bunch in a game called Ragnarok Battle Offline, not Ragnarok Online. Ragnarok Battle Offline, which is a fan game kind of. This
Why for Blinky Blinky?
Why do I Blinky Blinky? Thank you very much, you 50/50ish. Thank you for the resub. Hope you're doing alright. By the way, thank you for the pat stopper and Hakun. I didn't say earlier, but thank you. Maybe I did say earlier and I forgot. But yeah, this is I've heard this instrument a bunch on a stage in a game called Ragnarok Battle Offline, which is like very China themed in all of the like the environment design and stuff. And I didn't know what the hell it was, and I just kind of eventually stumbled upon it while going through the instruments on the synth. Sorry, the volume's still way up. And on here, it's under the name of, I'm gonna butcher this so much, Erhu, ER_HU. But it has such an interesting sound. It's almost like I think it's technically in a similar group of instruments as like the fiddle and other stringed instruments, like bowed. But like it has this resonance that almost makes it sound, I don't know, it sounds like super unique. Almost sounds like a mouth, you know, like a voice. I kind of want to look up what the instrument looks like, because I do wonder if it has like a big resonant chamber or something to make it sound like that. Anyway, there you are. This is just the thing that I'm happy to finally have stumbled upon. Mongolian thing, is it? I'm hearing some glitches as I have this soloed. I did purposely reset the pitch though, like this. Here. Because that's how it sounded in Ragnarok Battlefly. The pitch bend would always reset a little bit before the next note, and I presume that this is like due to the instrument itself, like the physicality of how it's played. So I should look it up sometime, because I'm curious. Because it always helps to like know how an instrument is played to make it actually sound more like that instrument. It's not just a case of just changing the instrument, like writing it for a piano and then changing it to strings is not going to sound very good. Hurdy-gurdy? It does sound a little bit like that, doesn't it? I think a hurdy-gurdy was like much less muffled though, much less resonant, much less like a sound. But I might be misremembering. Maybe we should have a look. I remember watching a Rob Scallon video about the hurdy-gurdy. Such an interesting instrument. It's like a bowed piano, but the bowing is automatic and controlled by keys. I don't think I've ever seen an instrument quite like it. I've never seen one in real life, but still. What is this one? Wait, did I not put any notes on this channel? Oh, I did. Oh, the notes are just so tiny that I can't see them. Amazing. Which one is it? This one. I kind of like this sound. This reminds me a little bit of an old trance song called Fields of Love by I have no damn idea who the artist was. I was too young at the time to even know, like, care about artists. And there's like this harmony between this and the high notes that this is playing. Anyway, this is surprisingly, yeah, it was fun. It's not really surprising because I fucking love trance music. I've just never tried to make one before. What if knees? Yes, I should actually go and save the kidneys. I can't really do it right now because this LED display is like up against my door. So to open it, I'd have to knock the display over. Thank you for hydration, Fuzz Check. I will go and do it now though. I should end the stream. There's a whole family of them like something. Hold on. And let me make it so that you can paste that link, Topo, because it got censored. Let me just enable links. Why? And you should be able to post it now if you want to, Topo. Also, hi, Gagadi! Welcome. The fuck you doing now, you meow meow? I was showing off the MIDI LED display that I made. Stop. Jeez. Topo, if you want to post it again, you should be able to. The one you posted earlier got nuked, sorry. I know it looks like it's sent on your end, but it didn't for anyone else, including me, unfortunately. Not even me, the moderator, the broadcaster could see what you posted. So what is this cheese all of a sudden? Hi, Commodore. Why? You grew up to trance, drum, bass, and jungle in the rave scenes. It's so cool you had a rave scene, dude. That's super cool. That's very cool. Anyway, I think that's basically it. I think that's basically everything. Let me just have a quick look. We got the ones that play. Oh yeah, right, never finished that.
Jeez.
Why? Some references. The Game Jam ones, the comms, testing for my display. What is going on? Stop throwing cheese at me. Unity ones, and one day I'll make a demo reel. I really should make a demo reel. You could frame it like a painting. The display? Yeah, I probably should. You got the notification? Hi, Dara. Good night, Dara. Why? Matt, why are you now doing it as well? I swear. It'd be interesting to try to frame it, Stu. But like it's on a piece of wood now and it would be very hard to get it off because every single display is held on with 4 what's the word? Standoffs with sticky backs. And also every display is connected to the one above it with really thin wires. And honestly, I was really hoping that would be a permanent mount. I don't have to take it off. Segmented displays have a magic to them. They do! If physical displays like this, like you could easily put this, like program it for like a screen, you know, and just put a whole goddamn LCD or even an OLED screen. But having the separate things is kind of fun. Anyway, that's all the MIDIs that I can play right now. Also, let me just bridge these 2 reset wires together again so you can see all the lights. Look at them all. As every LED at full brightness, but not all at the same time. An eighth of them are on at once. It's fun. Her floor is covered in cheese. Yeah, would you stop it? Frame the whole piece of wood. Maybe. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be able to actually put it on a wall because there's a fat-ass power supply on the back of it. And an Arduino. And like the wiring itself is kind of thick as well, but... I just want to show off one last thing before I end. I guess it's technically two last things, which is 2 bits of music that I made since has turned into like a full-blown, proper, actual dedicated stream for showing music. Where are we? Non-game FM 82. Which one is it? This one. Wait, why am I loading it in flipping DOSBox? Okay, so we're doing it in DOSBox now. We could just not in DOSBox. Because AdLib tracker. This is a tracker. Oh yeah, right, I remember the question that someone asked that I wanted to answer before. They asked if I started with like a tracker music. No, I did not. The first thing I learned to use was music. What the fuck am I saying? The first software I used to make music, aside from just things like Dance EJ, but like to actually compose my own music, was MIDI files. I used to use a program called Anvil Studio, where you had to enter it on a piano roll, and it was incredibly awkward, and you couldn't do any control changes. And I was so thankful when I eventually stumbled upon Sakaiju. I've been using it ever since. But that said, I have made 2 bits of tracker music for a DOS game that I might eventually make. Where is the... There it is. So one of them is the theme of the long uke that someone mentioned earlier, which is meant to sound very silly and derpy. Why are these like wildly different sizes? Which one is the newest one? You know what, fucking, we're loading the AdLib tracker that's not for DOSBox, but for Windows, which can show file names with longer, files with longer names. Where would this be? Oh, right, it's in the same folder that I was just in. Hold on. Where is that again? DOS, mount, non-game, FM, this one, this is the Windows one. Yes, really, this is the Windows one. And if I just set up a proper capture for that, we can have it big. There we are. Yay. Now I can actually see long file names. Fuck yeah. So anyway, here's a derpy long ukes theme. Oh wait, I'm just looping the same pattern. Man, I do this every time. What is the key for the main playback again? F8? Yes, that's the one. The chords changed. Listen, why can't I change the volume with the fucking arrow keys? What's going on? Exactly, Topo. Imagine that super derpy face sliding into the screen. That's what this lead was meant to come in at the same time as. Nyan? Aw. So this is that, like, silly frantic music from earlier. I also remade that sound. This is the first thing that I made in AdLib tracker. While it's playing, I'll prepare the next one. Actually, no, let's just look at the instrument thingies. There you go. You can see my naming now as well. Plink a lead. Anyway. And then this one will actually loop correctly in the tracker, I think, hopefully. Yes. But the one that I'm really proud of, even though I haven't quite sorted out a beginning for it, is this the newest one? I guess it's this one. Yeah, I guess it's this one. I'm a bit paranoid because of the copies that I made. So this was meant to be the ending music of the game. By the way, the game was in the last game that I eventually make is meant to be like a kind of tower defense kind of game. You're defending the long nukes on the ground from cheese and coming from like an alien cheese invasion above. And you're trying to shoot it down before, like, you know, so the cheese doesn't hit the long nukes. Anyway, this music that's playing here is meant to be like when there's a scene of kind of like the aftermath.
Cheese.
Yeah, exactly. Like a cheese invasion like this. And there's like an aftermath and the long nukes are coming out of hiding following like chaos and stuff. And they're like about to see that, yes, it's actually safe now. And eventually there's going to be like, you know, credits. And I guess like I wanted there to be like snow coming down. It's like a really happy thing that they're like going like this about. And so yeah, that's what this music follows the journey of. It's another hero's journey-ish one. And it doesn't quite start properly. I don't have a proper intro yet.
Cheese.
Why? At the sound of cheese, it will be midnight. Oh yeah, it almost is. It's midnight.
Cheese.
And I tried to make all of this music using only 6 channels. Because there are 9 channels that I can use, and I only save 3 of them for the sound effects in the game. Now you can imagine the long nukes looking like this. Not like on the screen, they'll actually be in one piece. And then it would probably end. It unintentionally loops here really well. But that's not what it was meant to do. Because it goes back to sounding less happy. I wanted to end on a happy note. Wasn't there a technique where you would interpose sound effects onto channels and use for music? Yeah. You could like temporarily set up a channel for a sound and then like snap it back to how it would be in the music, yeah. I know I was using the Game Boy, which has like very limited sound channels for. I'm not sure if I want to go there for this. I feel like I don't need to, because I feel like I'm able to do a lot of what I want to do in just 6. Maybe one time I will try to do that, but at the moment I'm a bit scared. Plunkma! I forgot that I named it that. Oh my god. I blame Freb for that. He's always saying, or they're always saying, "muh." Are you gonna make a chime for the STM long nuke thing? I don't plan to make it like use the real-time clock. It does have a real-time clock module, so I guess I could. I guess I could actually do that, huh? The reason I didn't want to have a real-time clock thing on the long nuke is because the only way I could think of using it was to have like a real-time day and night cycle. But I don't want to do that because I don't want to encourage people, because I have a problem with sleeping. And I don't want to encourage people to like stay awake, you know, at bad times just to be able to see things on the ped long nuke that you wouldn't be able to see otherwise. So I thought, yeah, I won't do that. I'll just have like a fake time cycle. But having long nuke announce the time would be kind of cute. And it does have a real-time clock module built in to the microcontroller that I'm using. I'll need to provide a crystal for it to keep the time. But it would be kind of really nice if it didn't have a clock. So many things have a clock that shouldn't have a clock, and having to set the time is like an annoyance, you know. It would kind of be nice without it. I do like the idea of a long nuke announcing it though. but yeah. Can't wait, I won't be able to get Long Nuke to wake me up in the morning as an alarm clock. Yeah, I guess you won't, I'm sorry. Or maybe you... I don't really want that to be an alarm, because it's so fourth wall breaking. The idea of you just interacting with her in her world is what I kind of like. I don't know. The idea is in my head now, so I'll consider it. I'll probably be considering it at like 5 AM when I'm trying to sleep. But yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna stop this music for now. I'm cutting it off already, suddenly. Oh, it faded actually. I forgot the active tracker does. Okay. We're gonna be ending stream now because I need to go to the toilet. And I'm really hot. Okay, you know what? Let's just play this. Oh, the music for the right, I said I was gonna show what I use as a reference to for the Nova's music. I remind you of what Nova's music was. It was this one. Ah, why? So this music, one of Nova's favorite songs is this song, but I have the, so I use this as a big inspiration for this style. Like having percussion that's triplets like this, and a clap that's very like actual like a hand clap, very yeah. That's the main things that I took inspiration from this from. It's like, she likes this? Sure. We'll use this kind of percussion and timing. Anyway, there you go. The actual full version of the song has lyrics, but this is a version without lyrics. Because the lyrics would be very distracting to me while I'm streaming. Even just vocals are kind of distracting to me sometimes. Like, not even singing lyrics, just like, ah. Yes, I probably have problems. Oh, maybe she screams every morning at 7 on the dot. Or I don't have a real-time clock at all, and she just screams randomly. Or she just randomly says, it's 7 o'clock. And it's just like, happens to be like 1:20 PM or something, and she thinks it's 7 AM. It's like, she's just trying her best to be an alarm clock, but she doesn't know how to do it. Thank you so much, Comsil. Every time you ask the time, she just guesses it. Well, there is going to be an Ask Long Nuke thing, which is a little bit like a Magic 8 Ball, which is going to be something like that. Thank you for trying to calm me down, Huggin there. Looks o'clock saying my name. Yes. Let's stop for now. I'm going to play with one last note on this synth. And that was it. Now it's turned off. Man, it's kind of hot. Maybe it's because I've got so much crap sitting on top of it. Maybe that's why something broke. No, it does run kind of well. Flashing LEDs is always a win in my book. Thank you! I'm a sucker for the flashy lights as well, so... I'm glad you liked it, Console. I hope other people liked it as well. Thank you so much for hanging out. Thank you for indulging in my just playing of my own goddamn music.
Here right at the beginning, start the stream mode.
Oh! Hi, Nim! Thank you very much for the resub. Oh, I'm sorry, Nim. As I think you know, I'm ending right now, sorry. I really appreciate the resub. Thanks for the Yuki, you're all welcome. Old school LEDs, hell yeah. The fact that LEDs are called old school is bizarre to me. But yeah. They still feel like futuristic to me, not really futuristic. Almost, maybe it's like retro-futuristic. I think retro-futuristic was even before LEDs, so it's neon stuff, right? And Nixie tubes and things. Anyway, I'm going to pass you on right now to Exodrifter, who today, speaking of me not finishing projects, has actually finished a project! She has... That makes it sound like she doesn't usually. It's me who doesn't usually. This is someone who's able to. She's actually released a game called No Signal. Today! It has been released about 2 hours and 8 minutes ago, I believe it was released. And I think she's having a look at her game on stream right now, like showing it off. It's like a escape room kind of game. She made the whole thing in Godot. She was like streaming the process as well. And yeah, the day's finally come where it's live on Steam now. Oh yeah, I think it's Steam. Is it Steam? Yes, it's Steam. A pinned comment is Steam. So this is one of the games that's not been taken off Steam because of payment processes. Ah! Second time I'm ranting about payment processor censorship on stream. Anyway, Steam and Itch, oh nice. Both platforms that have been hit by the payment process. Anyway, eventually we'll find a way to escape from them. I think there's like a lobbying thing coming up. Anyway, sorry to suddenly get political in this stream. Right, thank you for hanging out. This was a fun, kind of self-indulgent stream, and thank you very much for hearing me. Okay. Raid message can be, yes, exactly what Topo said. Exactly what Topo said. You jam raid, let's do that. If you have access to those emotes.